Officials are investigating the cause of a massive fire that destroyed the home of a South Carolina judge who has reportedly faced death threats after a high-profile ruling against the Trump administration. The fire happened Saturday afternoon, about an hour south of Charleston. Flames engulfed the home owned by Circuit Court Judge Diane Goodstein, who, according to several reports, was out for a walk at the time. But the local NBC affiliate is reporting that 3 people were injured and hospitalized, including the judge's husband, former Democratic State Senator Arnold Goodstein. And with little details known at this time, law enforcement has been asked to provide extra security after the incident. It comes amid a surge in hostility and threats against judges, as well as criticism directly from the Trump administration, including for Judge Goodstein, after she temporarily blocked the Justice Department from accessing the files of millions of registered voters in South Carolina. Mary McCord is still with us. Mary, what questions do you have based on what we're hearing so far?
Well, first and foremost is get, what the investigation will reveal about who did this and what their motivation was. I mean, when you just put together the facts you showed in your intro, I mean, I think the first thing many of us think is, was this intentionally done because of that ruling? But we don't know that yet, right? That would be speculation. Could there be other causes for this? Could there? I mean, the footage is devastating. I mean, it's just rarely have I seen a house, just one house, in such flames like that, and then the charred remains. It's just shocking how fast this happened and how many people were injured and could have been killed. And so it's a horrible, horrible, heinous crime if it was a crime and not something that was done by accident. And I know it's looking like arson, but getting to that cause. And if it turns out that this was motivated because of a judicial ruling that went against the Trump administration, this will be another escalation, of course, in what we're seeing when it comes to political violence. And I think it is bad always. It's bad no matter who it's directed to. But when it is a judge, I mean, the judges, their job is to rule in the cases in front of them based on the facts and the law, and to do that without fear or favor, to do that without any notice of or any consideration of politics. And so, this is the kind, again, we've talked today already about crossing Rubicons, right? And when you're starting to attack judges because of their rulings, we're in a very, very dangerous position in this country. And it makes judges fearful. It makes prosecutors fearful, as we know. It makes others in positions where they could be criticized by Donald Trump fearful. And he needs to know the power of his voice and how people respond to that. We've been saying this for years, Nicolle, but if this is what this turns out to be, some sort of politically motivated act of domestic terrorism, then, the importance and significance of the things that Donald Trump says about a person just, again, will be demonstrated in this instance. But I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Well, I want to ask you what would be a normal response from the FBI and what, if anything, you've seen.
Well, I don't know the latest details, but I think a normal response, usually there's a lot of caution in the immediately aftermath of something like that. And we get the arson investigators in there right away. And the first thing that they can determine usually is is there indication it was arson versus is there indication that it was a fire that started from natural causes or from an accident or something like that. And after that, it usually gets fairly quiet while they work on the investigation and determine, are there any suspects and what is the motive? And, we've seen things treated very differently recently. I mean, if you think about the immediate statements by Kash Patel in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's shooting, I mean, he came out very, very early with a statement about someone being taken into custody that turned out to be wrong. And the FBI doesn't want to make announcements and have them be wrong. So it's reasonable to me to be cautious in what is provided to the public, and also to the extent that they're looking, for suspects, you don't want to flag that for the suspects, what you might have about them. And so there's just a lot here that hopefully we will be starting to see in the coming days.
All right, we'll stay on top of it with your help. Mary McCord, thank you for spending the hour with us.